So you've asked me my name, and I'll tell you my name, even though I don't need to do anything else. My name's John Murphy, and I'm here travelling through the park, free according to Daniel Andrews under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. He has said just a couple of days ago that the rights of Victorians are not infringed with any Victorian legislation.
I understand that, sir, but
so
you can
then
only be exercising within 5 kilometres from your residence.
Well, that would be a breach of those
and I need
rights.
To see some identification so that we can check whether that's...
Now these would be the rights. These would be the rights that you guys should be enforcing, our rights. And our rights under the COVID response emergency, measures in response to COVID-19, Chapter 5A.1.1. You know them.
Okay.
Says that the Charter of Human Rights is excluded from these measures. And Daniel Andrews said the same thing the other day.
And under
that
the
these
Health
rights,
and Wellbeing Act,
the Health and
Wellbeing Act, there are certain restrictions on people at the moment.
Daniel Andrews said that no legislation in Parliament at the moment is infringing our rights.
Yeah, my radio just keeps...
So I'm taking his word for it.
What's your date of birth?
I don't have that with me at the moment.
You don't remember your date of birth?
I remember the day I was born. I was born a free man. That's what I remember.
Okay, have you got some ID, John?
I have ID, but I don't think I need to. I'm not obliged to present it to you because I'm walking freely in the park. I'll take my mask off. You can see who I am. You can. I don't mind if you take my photo.
You need to establish your address.
You don't need to establish my address. No.
Because Murphy, I think that you may well be outside of your 5 kilometres. So you are breaching.
I'm not breaching any laws on common law. I'm not breaching any laws. And you guys, as constables, you should be preserving my common law rights, not trampling all over them.
We're not. And
you
once
are.
You get your details and you provide us relevant reasons to why you're out today, then you'll be free to go.
I'm here because I'm free to be here under the legislation. My rights are excluded. They're preserved because and it says so in the Act. You guys have all read the Act. You know they are.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know that our Victorian Charter of Human Rights and Responsibilities has been excluded from any infringements. Now, a freedom to assemble is in those rights.
Not at the moment, it's not.
It is.
Not in stage 4.
It doesn't matter about the Victorian Charter of Human Rights. You might have a loophole there with that, but the human rights are preserved in other acts and charters. And that's where, in common law, I've got human rights. You know that.
Yeah, and we're not infringing on your human rights.
Well, you are.
But we're enforcing the law at the moment.
The law is not lawful to infringe on rights.
Okay, well, we don't make up the law. You don't make up the law.
You should know that you're infringing the law by...
The quicker we'll be on our way.
Well, you should know that you're breaching the law yourselves by stopping me here today.
Okay, we're not. What's your date of birth, John?
Well, I don't want to give you my date of birth.
Well, you need to.
Well, I don't feel obliged to, because unless you've...
Okay.
Unless you can show me the act that tells you can breach my rights, you can tell me what part of the act it is you're working under. What's this Health Act you're talking about? What part of that says that you can infringe my rights?
The Public Health and Safety Act.
Public Health and Safety Act.
Given under the state of emergency we're in at the moment, restrictions can be put in place. And we're in stage 4 restrictions at the moment.
Daniel Andrews said there was no laws going through Parliament or on the statutes that infringe human rights. He said it a couple of days ago. You know he said it. So,
John, we need to establish where you're from.
you don't have to establish that.
Do.
So, there's while I've still got some rights left, and these rights, by the way, are not just my rights. These are your rights for human rights. These are your family's rights, your kids, your parents, your brothers, your sisters. They've got rights. You are trampling all over everybody's rights. Think about that when you go to sleep tonight. You're trampling over your own family's rights.
Okay, John, under stage 4 restrictions, the only reason she can be out are to shop for necessary goods within 5 kilometres from your home.
So that's an infringement of freedom of movement. They're the rights.
Or for compassionate reasons, childcare, personal exercise for no more than 1 hour and within 5 kilometres from home.
Well, that sounds like it's an infringement of freedom of movement too.
If they cannot do this from home. Okay, so I don't believe that you're out here under any of those reasons.
Well, those are breaches of the freedom of movement. And so I don't know how you can say that, and Daniel Andrews says there are no laws in Victoria that breach human rights. How does he say that?
I also heard Daniel Andrews say that we're under stage 4 restrictions, John.
Well, you can't infringe the rights of a human being. I'm free. You're free if you want to be free, but you guys choose to be part of an organisation that seems to want to trample over everybody's rights. But while you're trampling over our rights, you're trampling over your own family's rights as well. Now, I'm going to ask you what your name is, because I feel that I've given you my name.
Here's my number.
23812.
Yep, that's my
Has
registered
the horse got a number?
My name is Sergeant Amanda Crowley.
Sergeant Amanda Crowley. Well, thank you. And so I don't feel obliged to ask everybody else's name because you seem to be in charge. Is that right? You're in charge of this little squad?
Group, yes.
Well, thank you. And what station are you attached to?
The Mounted Branch.
Mounted Branch. Of course it is.
Yeah,
What's the horse's name? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Police property. Yeah.
My horse's name is Randwick.
Which?
Randwick?
Randwick.
Randwick.
Well, good on you, Randwick.
John, we're going to get additional units down here.
Well,
we need to establish where you're from.
Well, I'll be around here.
No, you're not going anywhere.
So what are you saying? I'm under arrest?
No, but you need to give us your
Well,
details.
Well,
If you don't, that might end up happening. So you need to give us your details.
well, hang on a minute. Now, while you're infringing my rights, you're now threatening to arrest me. So, things are going from bad to worse in this state. So, if I'm not under arrest,
This is purely up to you, John, but you need to give us your details.
if I'm not under arrest and I haven't committed any crime, it's not a crime to be free.
No, it's
Not yet.
to be free,
It's getting close.
But Sergeant Crowley read out the reasons that you're allowed to be.
And those reasons seem to me to be an infringement of my freedom of
Okay, but
movement.
They apply to everyone, John. So it's
But that's an infringement of everybody's, including your family's
and
freedoms.
everyone is complying with it.
No, everybody is
Most people are complying.
cooperating with it, not complying.
Okay, most people are cooperating with it. Can
But-
you please give me your date of birth?
No.
How you going there, Mandy?
I'll show you.
Have you had any dealings with police before, John?
Never in my life.
Okay.
Never.
You don't need to yell.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm a law-abiding person, and I'm still abiding by the law now.
John, do you understand that the Chief Medical Officer? Well,
Who are you?
I'm Mandy.
What's your name and number
My
again?
number's 36433.
I can't see that.
There you go.
VP 36433.
Yep.
And your name is what?
Mandy, Mrs. Jasper,
Mandy who?
Mandy Baker.
Mandy Baker.
And your
Well-
John?
Yes.
Is that correct, John?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, John Murphy.
Yeah.
Where
Now,
do you live, John? Are you local?
Now I'm going to take my mask off here so that you can see my face, because
I don't
I'm
need
not
to
afraid
see
to be
your
in
face.
your cameras.
I'm sorry, I don't need to see your face. You don't
Well,
need
then
to
I
see
feel
us.
like I
We're-
need to see yours.
we're
because
adhering
I
to
don't
the
know.
Chief medical officers to keep our masks on because of the COVID.
Because of the flu virus, yes. Well, look, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in the park. I'm just stretching out, getting some sunlight.
John, we still need to establish where you're from, because I don't believe
Well,
that you're...
If I haven't committed any crime, I have not committed any crime.
You have committed an offence.
It's not an offence for a human being to be free.
If you can show me that you are within 5 kilometres of your residence, then there's no offence.
I'm not committing a crime or
You
I'm
are
not.
committing an offence if you're outside
It's
5
it's an
kilometres
unlawful
from home
law that infringes
under the
my
Public
rights.
Health and Safety Act. And we are in stage 4 restrictions at the moment.
Well,
Now, John, you will be receiving a fine.
well, it's an unlawful fine, and I don't consent to it. It's a fine against freedom.
Quite welcome to dispute that in court.
I will dispute it in court, and I'll be calling each of you as in evidence. So don't worry. And I'll be calling you to attend a common law court.
G'day, how you going?
Now, who are you?
Yeah, good, thank you, good.
You know my name because you've heard it already.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Have
So-
you spoken to them already, have you?
Well, you know, I've given them my name.
Okay.
So I want to know your name now.
Yep, so my VP number there is 41773.
VP 41773.
Yeah.
And
So
your
what's-
name is?
I'll get that in 1 second. What's happening today, sir?
You asking me?
I'm just asking what
I've
you're
been
up to today.
stopped while I'm walking through the park. So you're not giving me your name?
Well, I'll give you that in 1 second, but I'm more interested in finding out.
No,
sort
no,
of what
but
you're up
I've
to
asked
today.
you my name.
Oh, well,
your
my name's
name.
Andrew. My name's Andrew.
Well, could you write it down for me, please?
Have you got some paper I can write down for me?
Matter of fact, I do.
Sure.
If you can give me your... So who's in charge here today? Who's in charge?
Well, which one have you been speaking to before?
Well,
we
I've been
arrived, sir?
speaking to Sergeant Crowley.
Yep. So the sergeant you've been speaking to is the one that has given us some direction.
John, the 4 lawful reasons that he can be out today.
Yeah.
And I've asked for his name and his date of birth and his address. Now, John won't provide us with his address, and I have a suspicion that John is more than 5 kilometres from home at the moment.
Right.
And so, John, you've had plenty of opportunity.
I've had plenty of opportunity to explain to you that I am not breaching any laws.
John believes that under his student rights that he not subject to stage 4 restrictions.
Right. Okay.
So now I've got one person who's refusing to give me your name
No, I
and
asked you if I
station.
could have some piece of paper and I'll write
Yep.
my details down for you.
Sure.
Thank you.
So, is he already receiving infringement as a consequence?
Sorry?
Is he already receiving infringement as
So, John, the way it works is if I give you
Well-
my details, I need to make sure I ascertain your details. And so, if I ascertain your details, then I'm happy to give you mine. Okay?
No, it doesn't work that way.
It actually does.
You've stopped me in my free movement around the park. You've all stopped me. I don't need to give you my details first. Because you've stopped me, you should give me your details so that I know
Do you want to come up here with us?
We'll go down that way.
I
We'll have a chat
know
over there.
who I'm talking with. And I'll give you the other details if I have to.
John, do you want to come up here and have a chat to us? Okay?
I'm happy here.
No, we'll just go up there, just where the cars are, just so the horses can move away. We don't need to be with
The
all
horses can move away without me moving here.
Yep. John, so we need to insist that we go over there so we can have a
No,
bit of a chat.
no. Why don't the horses
Okay,
just
fine.
move
No,
away?
All right, have it your way right now. We'll just give you an infringement now. You get a book, Andy?
Yeah, just take him up to the car and we'll get over.
Yeah, he doesn't
I'm
want to go,
happy
so
here.
we'll,
You can move the horses.
Confirmed ID.
not
I'm
yet,
happy
so,
where I am right here. I'm free to stay where I am here.
Okay, yeah. No, you got a point. Yeah. So have you got any
So
other
no,
documents?
now you're talking to me. I need to know your name now.
That's
So
all
get
I'm
in.
not going to mess around.
Get,
You're under arrest at the moment for the purpose of
shit.
ascertaining your name and
Oh,
address. Right, until
bloody
you do
hell.
provide such detail, you will remain under arrest. If you don't want to comply, that's fine. You may use any force necessary
Well,
to
now,
achieve that aim.
who is it that's even arresting me? What's your name?
Yeah, we'll provide all that detail in a minute, but first, at this stage, you need to provide your full name and address and date of birth. Okay?
Well, if I'm under arrest, I'll just say
Do you have
nothing.
anything?
I'll say nothing.
Okay, well then that means that you go back to the police station. You will remain there until your details have been ascertained. Do you understand that? Do you have anything on you?
What do you mean?
Do you have any weapons, any items?
No weapons.
Sharp?
No.
Right. For the purpose of safety and evidence, I'm going to conduct a full search of you. Or a search of you. Okay?
Just relax there, okay?
Right, so you can put that down.
No, I'll just keep this for the moment.
all right,
Put that down.
No, I can't put it down.
All right.
Because I just, this
your
is
arms
the
up
way
like
the
this,
police are going in this state. Bloody hell. Jeez, freedom's gone. Even, not my freedom, your freedom is gone too, you know. You're losing your freedoms. You're losing your family's freedoms.
Just put your arm down.
You're trampling
Put your arm
over your
down.
own family's freedoms.
You guys got Norris handy? Yep. I said you
Bloody
got that
hell.
day.
Crazy.
What's in that?
That's thermometer.
Sir, do you have anything with your name on it? Any ID or anything like that?
I've got something
Tell
with
us,
my...
tell us what you've got in your pockets before you reach in there, and we can get that for you if you like.
What's in here?
Have you got something in your pocket that's got your ID?
Not in there. In this pocket here, I suppose I've got probably got a Medicard or something.
I'll just explain something to you while my colleagues start finishing searching. So the reason you're being searched at the moment, it's a safety and evidence search because you've been placed under arrest to confirm your ID, because we believe on reasonable grounds you're committing an offence against the Chief Health Officer's direction, okay?
Chief
So that's
Health
the reason-
Officer.
I'm just
Chief
explaining
Health
to you.
Officer can't infringe my rights.
Listen to me
Jesus
very carefully. The
Christ.
reason I'm explaining that to you is so you understand why you're being searched at the moment and why these gentlemen
Well,
need
it's
to check
all
your ID.
unlawful. It's all unlawful. That even proves it's unlawful. Look at it. Human rights exempted.
Yep.
Exempted.
They're great photocopies.
Human rights exempted.
Unfortunately, human rights don't allow you to break the law.
You can't breach people's human rights with legislation.
Unfortunately, you can't commit offences and then use human rights as a defence.
You can.
No, you can't.
Well, then you've lost all your human rights as well.
Okay,
Your
all right.
family's lost their human rights. Everybody in the friggin' country,
what's
or
your
at
date-
least
what's
this
your date of
state's
birth?
lost their human rights.
So what's your date of birth?
Leave them out. If there's something in there you need,
Well,
let me know.
there's something in there, I think it's got my a name on it, just to confirm a name.
Okay, I don't think there's anything in that pocket, sir.
Well, there was.
Mr. Murphy, we have
Oh,
your
down there.
We're
It's
just
all
looking for
down
your
there.
address, Mr.
It's my
Murphy.
Medicare.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I need
So
your
we got
date
your
of
name.
birth.
We just need your date
That's
of
my
birth. sir.
Medicare.
Yeah, I need your date of birth.
It's not on your Medicare, the date of birth. It's not on there.
No, it doesn't contain it.
Just your date of birth so we can confirm your ID.
Well, it's bloody unlawful. God, you guys must know that it's unlawful
Understand
to
all
breach
that.
people's rights.
That's your point of view. but we
It's not a point of view,
we
it's
just need your
law.
date of birth. Okay, it's your interpretation of it. We just need a date
Oh,
of birth.
well, you're interpreting things as well
Okay,
then, in that
just the date of
case.
birth would be great so we can confirm who you are, please.
Well, I don't know. If I don't give you my date of birth, what's going to
Then
happen?
you'll remain under arrest until we can confirm your ID, and we have to take you back to a station in order to fingerprint you. They can check your ID to confirm who you are.
We don't want to do that, Mr. Murphy. If you just give us your details.
Well, I've got nothing. I've got no fingerprints anywhere.
Well, that would make it a much more difficult process, Mr. Murphy.
You remain in
That's why we
custody
need your
until
date of
such
birth.
time as we can confirm your ID.
Well, this is a
So
sad
give us your date
state,
of birth.
sad state of affairs for Victoria.
It may very well be in your point of view, but just give us your date of birth so we can confirm who you are.
Well, when I give you my date of birth,
Yep.
I'm free to go.
Once we've
Hang on,
confirmed your
am
ID,
I or aren't I?
Yes, you will be. Once we confirm your ID and we're happy with that, we're going to issue you a ticket. But if you're going to move on from the area and leave the area and not remain in the area and commit any further offences or a continuation of an offence, and you move out of the area and go back home, that's fine. But if you can continuing an offence, we can still have you under arrest.
So what's your name? You're warning me.
Yep, Sergeant Travis Baxter.
Sergeant Travis Baxter.
And that's my registered number.
VP 32772.
Yeah. So can we have your date of birth, please?
18449. Born a free man, by the way, before all this fucking stuff started in the 1970s.
See your RSL.
You guys weren't even born when we lost our bloody rights.
I see you're an RSL member. You're a returned serviceman, are you?
Not returned, but I spent 2 years fucking fighting communism.
Okay. Navy, Army.
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 And you guys don't even know you're working for a communist government. You don't even know it. Read the Constitution, for God's sake. Read your own bloody human rights. Do you know you've got any? You don't even know you've got human rights yourself, I'll bet.
Where are you currently living, sir?
Bundoora.
Have you ever lived in Mill Park?
I have.
What was the address in Mill Park, if you remember?
Yeah, well...
Do you remember the address in Mill Park?
Meldrum Avenue.
Fantastic. I'm satisfied of your identification. Satisfied with what I do.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
So, Mr. Murphy,
So let me get my stuff because
grab your stuff
I'm
and
no longer under arrest.
You will be issued with an infringement notice.
Well, it's not going to be freaking paid.
I would like to
because
give
it's
you
an
a direction.
unlawful.
You need to move on out of the area.
It's an unlawful bloody.
If you haven't got one of the 4
ticket
reasons to be out here, you will need to return home, unfortunately. Whether that be out for exercise, whether that be out work and study, giving care or caregiving. You have to. They're the only reasons at the moment why you can be out and about.
Unlawful. Unlawful detention, unlawful arrest.
Yeah, that may be the case.
And those of, oh, well, you've said something now, so now I need your name and address. Name and number.
It's right there.
32934. And what's your name and station, please?
Public Audit Response. My name is Acting Sergeant Rob Heap.
Acting Sergeant Rob
Heap.
Heap. Yeah. H-E-A-P. Well, bloody sad for Victoria. Very sad.
Won't be forever.
And supervisor's here. Now I need your name, since you're in charge by the looks of it.
No, that's fine.
VP 22428.
My name's Inspector Ian Geddes from the
Inspector
Public
Ian
Order
Geddes.
Response Team.
Well, it's a sad state of affairs for Victoria. Very sad. You think you're doing good for the people, and you're trampling all over everybody's rights.
If you want to grab your stuff, I can help you pick it up. If
No, don't pick it up.
No, you're right. Okay, no worries. Look,
very, very sad.
I know we're in time. It's not fair.
You know it's wrong. You know it's wrong.
There's so much wrong.
It's wrong.
It's new stuff, okay?
It's not new. It's wrong.
We've never found ourselves in a
It's wrong. You know it's wrong.
We've never found ourselves in a situation like
Tell
this.
your families when you go home tonight you've been trampling all over their rights, because you're trampling over their rights as well as mine. Now,
You might have to...
somebody had my pen and paper earlier. Who was that?
Oh, sorry, I put that for you here.
Thank you.
There's paper and there's 10 for you.
And you were going to write your name and...
Yep, so I'm going to give you some paperwork and it'll have all my details on there. So that's
You're going to write paperwork. Well, I'm not sure I'm going to accept it, except under bloody duress. Bloody shit. I'd be in bloody jail now if I didn't have this.
You want to put it back in your pocket? You want me to give you a hand?
No, no.
No?
I just ask you to give me some space so I don't get bloody attacked.
No, you won't be attacked. There's no one's going to be attacked.
No, 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 no. Freedom. See that? Freedom. Well, that's what we're fighting for. You too. You should be fighting for. You should be defending freedom. Defend it. Defend people's rights. Jeez, instead of taking them away.
Mr. Murphy, are you currently still at 7 Meldrum Avenue, or do you have a new residential address?
No, I'm not there.
What's your new or current residential address?
Hang on a minute.
Pardon? You've forgotten.
Hang on a minute, will you?
Sure.
Let me get this stuff.
Sorry, not that.
Well, now.
Hello, sir. Your current address, please.
Number 4.
Yes.
Judith. Judith Street.
Yes.
Bundoora.
Thank you. So if you'd just like to maintain that distance for us, thank you.
Everybody should be buying a bloody body cam these days. You never know what's going on. Bloody communist run world these days. Don't forget to tell your families you've trampled all over their rights tonight when you go home. Go and read the Act again too. It says excludes Victorian Charter of Human Rights and Responsibilities. Excludes it. And Dan Andrews excludes all human rights from these legislations. There's no legislation in Victoria that infringes people's human rights. You know it. And yet you come out here blustering around like you can. It's unlawful. There's going to be a bloody million court cases coming up in these months. You'll all be in court trying to defend yourselves. You know, the first people you're supposed to be defending are the people, not the government. You're working for the government, you should be working for the people. 50 years ago, the Victoria Police was a department of the state of Victoria. Now, you're a corporation of police officers working for a corporation which contracts to the Corporation of Victoria. Wake up, you're being used. You're no longer a part of the people's police force. You've become the state's government's police force. And corporations don't have legal authority over human beings. We've got our freedoms of movement, everything. Privacy, everything is free until you, and you were free before you joined a corporation too. Think about it when you're sleeping tonight. You've sold out the public.
Ultimately, it's about saving lives.
Saving lives.
Spread of the virus.
Good grief. The evidence is coming out about this virus. It's coming out.
Start getting into your level 2.
Look, I'm going to go.
He's not under arrest.
I'm going. I don't care what you do with the paperwork.
That's right, it'll get sent to you in the mail.
Well, I don't give a duck. It's not going to be paid. It's going to court. And whoever's name I've got in here are going to court as well.
It's entirely up to you. So,
Because you've all personally breached the law.
okay, that's fine.
Personally.
That's an argument to have in the magistrate's court.
Well, you've all personally breached my rights.
What I have to tell you now is that you need to go home. You can't hang around. If you get picked up again, there's a possibility that you'll be arrested, taken back and charged and bailed for it. Okay?
Being charged twice on the same day for the same offence.
Well,
How can that work?
it's a continuation of the offence.
No, you can't keep charging me for the same offence.
Okay, you actually have committed a further offence.
What?
Okay? Because you
By-
stood out and not following the directions.
It's the same offence on the same
You'll
day.
be arrested for continuation of the offence and taken back and charged and bailed.
Well, that can be argued in court
It
too.
can be, and that's the proper setting to have those arguments. Okay, so just letting you know.
Well,
That's the information I've got to pass on to you. You need to be out only for the 4 reasons, and you need to be at home otherwise. Sorry, I've got to take this. Go back to speaking.
well, I'm going. Don't care what you do with the bloody paperwork. So,
From asset protection. You're not under my care. Go back to Mr. Murphy, just stand by until we give you this bit of paper, please.
I don't want the paper.
We need to
Well, post it. Bloody stupid. Terrible. All right.